Hey everyone, it's Adrienne with Weddings to Infinity. Well, we are back for W2I, fourth week to go live for Q&A about planning your wedding. Thank you for joining us. So we're going to get started, and I love those questions coming in via our email, info2@weddingstoinfinity.com. And we will start with those. And should we have any questions in the in our live audience, then we will go ahead and answer those. But this week is real special to me. Asking for questions to come in early. Well, that's real special. And this week I had one from a friend, Asara, and her name is CiCi, and she's out of California, and she just told me she's planning on getting married. And I'm just like too over the moon to be able to help her. And she agreed that she didn't mind me making it CiCi's week for our Q&A. So her first question is, how do I set a realistic budget? Well, CiCi, it's not hard. You really have to just bring all the family together, your side, your groom's side, both of you guys, and sitting there and making sure you get exactly what you want, but realistically knowing your budget, knowing your groom's budget, compromising where there needs to be, and then asking the family if there's anything that they would like to contribute. In fact, that is one of your questions. How do I ask my family or his family to help pay? How do you tell them even I don't want your help or I need your help? Either way, it's really easy. But once everybody's in the room and everybody knows what your dreams and your goals are and what you're thinking about spending, everybody can say, hey, I can offer you $1,000 toward this. I can offer you 5,000 toward this. And that, so that's how you get to a number. You really need to know two things. You need to kind of know where you want to get married, doing a little research. Of course, if you come to me, you know I'll do your research for you. Or basically just knowing how many people you want to invite. Now, let me tell you a little trick that I always have to tell my clients always. Whenever you decide to take that help from your family, and they have all good intentions. We know they do, but they decide that, oh, you know what? We want to invite Aunt Susu, the one that's back we hadn't seen in years. She has to be at this wedding. So you start adding more numbers. So you might want to be just like my daughter. She told me, Mom, you have 10 to 25 people to be able to invite to my wedding. And she was serious about it. So it really keeps the numbers down. And that's the major part of a realistic budget for a wedding, getting to that number. If you can afford 500 to your guest list, great. If you can only afford 100, stick to it and make sure everybody in the family does. And let's say if they want to help, should they want to invite another 10 or 15, just tell them, well, at the catering part is going to be another 25, 45, $55 a person. Would you like to contribute to that part? So it is not an easy thing to do, but it's something you need to do so that you will not walk down that aisle in unnecessary debt. I know it's that one day that you've been dreaming about, but let's face it, you do not want to walk down that aisle in debt. And that answers your question. I want something unique and memorable, but I don't want to go broke. How do I have the perfect wedding on a very tight budget? It's about planning. That is everything about a wedding because we all dream of having that perfect day. But sometimes our dreams and our pocketbook just don't match. So we really got to think strategically. And to me, always the answer is the number of guests that you have. During COVID, that's one thing. People have been able to do 50, maybe 75 in some cases. It's helped with the budget, and you can really have a great time. Plus, you can get around to meet everyone at your wedding, which I just really think is very important. And I always had that in for my bride and grooms to go around to each table and say hello, because believe me, everybody wants to wish you well for your future. Now, here's a good one. When do I send out save the date? And do I need to send them to people I'm not going to invite? Okay, I'm being real. Since we're friends, really? Now, first off, the first part of questions, when do you send out save the dates? Save the date definitely is for at least 2 to 3 months. And the reasoning for this is so everybody can find the best airfare, best hotel rates if you haven't pulled together a bundle for them to fly to your wedding. So that's the reason that you should send it out anywhere from 2 to 3 months ahead. Now, if you did pull a package together, I would advise you to send the save the date and the information on the airline that they could contact, as well as the hotel, because you have blocked the rooms. Now, about that, I'm not going to invite. No, ma'am. Do not send a save the date to somebody you know you will not invite. So, what I would do is after the ceremony, after the wedding, maybe when you come back or right before you go on your honeymoon, have planned wedding announcements with your pictures on it, if possible, and send it to the guests that didn't get a chance to be invited. It'd be a great way to announce that you got married. Also, today with technology, you can send that through Zazzle, through Evite, or whatever, that you can send it electronically the day that have your maid of honor to send it out the day after you are married. But please, please don't send this save the date to someone that you know you won't be inviting. That, to me, just not good etiquette. That's my opinion. Hopefully you understand where I'm coming from. And finally, the last question is, I have a large family and a bunch of friends, but I don't want a wedding party. How do I tell them I only want a maid in honor and best man? It's simple. You just straightforward let everybody know that we're going to have a very small wedding party. We're going to have a maid of honor or matron of honor and a best man, and maybe the ring bearer and flower girls. But other than that, we're going to have it small. We want you to enjoy the wedding. We don't want you to incur any more debt of bridesmaids and shoes and dresses and hair and nails and barbershops and tuxedos. We're just going to keep it simple. We want you to have a great party. So just be straightforward. It's nothing wrong with that. And your friends, and I know you probably want your line sisters on, they all understand, but they'll also be excited to know that they don't have any extra debt. They just have to be there and celebrate with you guys your new beginning. I think they will love that no matter what. So having a maid of honor and best man, nothing wrong with that. That's really kind of you guys to think of your friends. So now, I hope all of those questions are answered by you, CiCi. That's a portion of them. We're going to get to the rest of them, but next week I'm going to talk about you one more time because I love the questions that you had on blended family and including them in the weddings. I think that's something that everyone has questions about when you're blending families together. So I hope I answered your questions for this week. And I want to thank you for joining us. We don't want to bore you, we just want to inform you. So don't forget to send in your questions to info2 at Weddings to Infinity, or even better, join us next week. We'll see you then. Don't forget Weddings to Infinity mantra. Your event is every detail matters. So stay safe. Let's keep on making COVID history. Thank you again for joining me. Adrian out.